Chelsea 3, Liverpool 1, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, my emotions are all over the place for so many reasons, because trying to get back home from that watch-along / Stamford Bridge area anyway, because the district line was closed, the match-going fans will know, was an absolute headache. Just traffic, police, anarchy, animosity. But we loved it. We lived it. 3-1 Liverpool win. Really good performance. Back-to-back proper performances at Stamford Bridge against both the Merseyside sides. Listen, there's so many positives to take from the performance in terms of the individuals. This is what we need going into the back end against the tough teams that we've got to face. Yes, you can say we've played a Liverpool team that were rotated. You know, I still feel like that was a good Liverpool team. I don't want to disrespect that Liverpool team. That Liverpool team still had Salah, still had Trent, still had Alisson, Van Dijk, Gakpo. There was a couple of changes, of course. Yes, the defense had a couple of changes. The midfield was completely changed, but it's still players that are raved about and hyped, Elliott and Jones. So you still got to perform. And I can pluck out so many proper top performances from so many individuals that just makes the performance and the win even more valuable to take into Newcastle, to take into Manchester United and Forest. And on top of that, you've got all the intangibles that you need and you wish for in these type of big games. Remember, this is Chelsea's first proper Big Six win against any side other than Tottenham. Obviously, yes, Liverpool have won the league. Their mentality is questionable. They've checked out, but you still got to make sure you turn up and beat them, and we did. So I'm very happy with the team today. A lot of people were not happy with the selection in terms of maybe Caicedo playing right back again and James not being there. Personally, I don't care, because I'm not interested in our favourites playing or players that we know are really good and we rate them. I'm interested in just playing the best players for the system. And we have to admit that Caicedo playing at right back, inverting into midfield, is stronger than James, Gusto and Achampong, right? So although we may want our out-and-out right backs to play, we have to accept now that the manager's made it abundantly clear that he's going to continue to keep inverting the right back. So we have to play the player that is best suited for that and get the performance and the result. And Caicedo and Lavia together is an absolute beauty to watch. And I think if I'm plucking out players, I'm going to start with Caicedo and Cucurella at the fullback positions. I thought they locked up their wingers. I thought their back post defending, Caicedo, when the crosses were coming in, he's dealt with it. He's concentrated. He's in the right position at all times. Thought Cucurella did very well with Salah. Obviously, Salah's a top player. He's always going to create a couple of opportunities for Nunes, etc. But on the whole, really good. And then even in the centre-back positions, Chalobah let his nuts hang today. Yeah, he had it, bro. Chalobah making last-ditch blocks, tackles, clearances. Colwell making a massive clearance with a header away across into the box that was very difficult to deal with, that he dealt with. It was a very, very commanding, authoritarian performance from the centre-backs today. Obviously, Liverpool are going to get some chances here and there. They're Liverpool. They did get some chances from some crosses. Van Dijk from a corner, free header. Don't know why we're not marking properly there. Don't know what's going on there with the decision making on the set pieces. Obviously, they score from a set piece, and then obviously the chance for Nunes on the free header from Salah cross. But outside of that, I thought defensively we were very, very good, and I thought the centre backs were fantastic. Then you're looking at Lavia, his performance. Had a hand in the first goal. Defense splitting pass for Palmer. Palmer, beautiful bit of deceptive kind of positioning to kind of find his space and then play Neto in with a fantastic cutback, which is perfectly weighted, perfectly positioned for Enzo Fernandez, who takes a touch and finishes. Great team goal, really good football. 1-0 up inside 5 minutes. You cannot complain. It's the perfect way to start against Liverpool. And in fact, we could have gone 2-0 up, to be honest, inside the first few minutes. So I'm just buzzing for that start, because usually Chelsea, you're not really sure, are they going to start the game exactly how they need to? Are they going to capitalize really on the chances that they create in the first 10, 15, 20 minutes? So they're going to let the game go on and then drift, and then there's a response from the opposition. That was lovely to see. Cole Palmer today, this is what we want. Not only did he get a goal to cap off his performance, which we'll get to later, but just the whole performance in general, whether it's ripping up Tsimikas for the second goal on the right-hand side, Jinky Majinky, cut back, own goal, Van Dijk smashes it into his own player, or it's Jinky Majinky on the left, cuts up, Connor Bradley hits the post with a deceptive strike at Alisson's near post. The penalty is, of course, converted very well. Just the way that he oozed confidence, particularly going into the second half. Because I think, obviously, once we got our goal, Liverpool started to, play the ball about a bit more, and they started to have a bit more possession, and they're trying to almost force us into a low block, which Maresca said wasn't really on purpose, which is fine. I don't really mind us not having complete dominance of the ball because we're set up to counter-attack with Neto, with Madueke. I felt like Madueke's decision-making on a couple of counters and a couple of breaks could have been better. Release the ball to Enzo on a transition, release the ball maybe to the left to Jackson or whatever, just wide of the post, his strike. But we aren't not ready to transition. You look at Esteval coming next season. You look at Madueke, Neto played at Wolves, transition. Palmer last season, transitions. So we're ready to transition if need be. So I don't mind us not having all of the ball. I don't mind Liverpool ticking it about and having all that possession and we just sit and break, because at the end of the day, we're only here for the result. We're not here for, field tilt, as they say. So I couldn't give two shiny shits about that. Just wanted the win. So yeah, brilliant to see us get that second with Palmer having a play in there. And then, like I said, for the third, the penalty is a stonewall penalty on Caicedo there, and he tucks that away. Alisson dives the right way, fantastically finished. And what I love to see is that, got a couple critiques, but mainly I'm thinking about the praise. What I love to see is Cole Palmer saying after the match, shit happens. Madueke swearing accidentally on the TV when they're both trying to watch the goal together. The celebration, by the way, that meant a lot to me, and I'm sure that meant a lot to a lot of Chelsea fans, because we know Cole Palmer's a top player. We know Cole Palmer has got quality. He's been going through a terrible stint of form in terms of his shooting in front of goal, even against Djurgården, in midweek when I went to the game in Sweden. His finishing for a couple of opportunities that he had 1v1, heavy touch, or, shooting from just outside the box straight at the keeper. He's just not striking the ball the way that he was last season. So his shooting has just declined, but I'm sure it will be back. But he's created chances. They've not been taken all the time. And it's just nice to see the whole team, the camaraderie, for everyone to just gather around and Sanchez ran from his goal all the way to the other end of the pitch to come and congratulate him. Everybody's kind of like, throwing him towards the fans, slapping him on the top of the head. He's kind of like, he's done his celebration, but he doesn't want to get too involved. He's smiling, but he's not. He doesn't want to be too shameless. It was a nice moment. Everybody's behind him. Everybody's supporting him. And there's been a lot of rumours and talk. Don't know why Man United links keep coming up. Don't know why we keep talking about an exit. This brother's on a 10-year, contract. Man's on a 10-year sentencing, yeah? Whether you like it or not, you ain't going anywhere. And I don't think you deserve to, if I'm being completely honest. Your form has dipped. You haven't been at the level that you know you can be at. So why should you get to run away scot-free into Champions League football without us? No, you're staying here, and you need to get us into the Champions League, and the rest of the players have to pull together. We all need to be in the Champions League together. If you do 3, 4, 5 seasons at a high level, fair enough. I can understand. We're not performing as a club. Off you go. But no, there's no need to part ways. There's no need to be, jumping the gun. Man United are certainly not in a position to be even, floundering for them. So for me, them rumours, I kind of put them to the wayside. I've always tried to put a bit of responsibility on Palmer to say, listen, your shooting needs to improve. You need to put in the level of accuracy in your shooting that you were in the last season. And of course, people need to put away your chances. So today, especially in the second half, there was a fluidity, a nice rhythm to his game. I felt like as the game went on, he was just getting more and more confident. He was skinning the fullbacks. He was starting to just show that class, show that quality that people know him for. And I was very happy to see that. Now, sorry, Miss Jackson. Oh, your performance. I mean, listen, you was offside in times where you didn't need to be. The line is there to be watched. It's in front of you and you're offside. Maybe certain passes could have been played earlier. Maybe was it Madueke on a transition or Enzo? I can't remember. You can get the pass played to you earlier. But Jackson, not a great day for him, especially when he's coming off the back of getting a couple of goals in midweek. I was hoping he would carry that on into this game. He didn't. I think Jackson is pretty settled and sorted, my opinion on him, and most of our opinions on him. He's a good player, squad player. can do certain things very well. Other things we can't rely upon him for. He's not a striker's striker. He's not a instinct, clinical finisher, elite box movement, aerial ability. And we need these things. You cannot go through a campaign without having these attributes and these qualities. So as much as I like some of the things that he does, I'm not prepared to, risk the progression and the ceiling of my club on his development. I think we now need to, in the summer, and we know this, we need to get a striker. We need to get someone who is clinical, that can pick out the corners when they strike the ball cleanly, put power behind their shots, provide those individual moments of brilliance when the crosses come in, header it, or, reach crosses that are potentially further away from the target, but you can make it happen, like a Hairline, like a acrobatic scissor kick, acrobatic overhead kick. I want someone that can do those things, someone that can play the percentages and win us games. And it's a good contrast to have for Jackson, I think, as well, going into a campaign. So, and obviously Gu's still injured. We forget about him. So I think Jackson, it was underwhelming. He was obviously taken off. It is what it is. Neto goes up front. Very happy with Madueke's kind of development on that left wing in the last couple of weeks. He still obviously needs to improve the decision making at times, but I think at least he's a threat. He did, at least provide something over there. And with Mudrik's future unsettled and really we don't know what's going to happen, the conclusion, we need someone to go over there when Esteval comes in to go on his favoured right. I still think we should be signing a left winger. I probably would still move on Sancho, even though I know with a striker, with his key passes, his chance creation, assists, they're going to come more frequently. But I do think there's an opportunity to go and get potentially a goal-scoring killer on that left wing, maybe a Rodrigo. That is what I would do if I was shooting for the stars, if I was shooting for the moon. But yeah, just overall, just a really good performance. Like I said, happy with the defence. I don't think Sanchez had a lot to do. A lot of the big opportunities were off target for Liverpool. And we move. I mean, it's a massive win. Definitely don't understate how big this win is. Like, Mystic Ma with the crystal ball. I said, 2-2. It wasn't even me. It was Mystic Ma. I'm not him. 2-2. And obviously Brentford beating Nottingham Forest on Thursday. They play Palace on Monday away from home. That's a very difficult fixture. This is lining up very nicely for us. We're currently in the position that we need to be in. Am I asked about Arsenal in second? No, I don't think that's realistic. I think they'll pick up enough points. I'm not really focused on that. Just get the job done. Let's walk before we run. Let's talk about Newcastle away. Can we put in a proper performance and get a result? I don't think we have to beat them now. I think we're putting ourselves in a position where we don't have to beat Newcastle away. Obviously, if we do, we're basically there. But that's not easy. Man United at home, that's got to be a win. Nottingham Forest away. If you're playing like this, and Nottingham Forest are playing like that, then you can go there and win as well. And then suddenly you've qualified for the Champions League and you've only got to worry about a wand of a left foot from Anthony at Real Betis. I don't know what's going on with that brother. He keeps smacking in long ranges into the top corner every other week. We've got to keep our eyes on him if they progress against Fiorentina. But that is really it. The season is almost done. It's almost over. Very happy with the performance. We showed multiple sides to us. When we had the ball, we created. We got big performances from big players that we needed. And then when we had to defend for some periods and Liverpool dominated possession, I think in open play, we defended very well. So it's another game where Lavia stays fit. It's another game where Enzo Fernandez gets himself involved in the GA. I think that's 20 GA for the season, which is, again, this is a high pressurized season for him to step up to the plate, to show the leadership, to show the responsibility. He's doing it in a not too dissimilar position to what he was trying to do last season as a box-to-box, box crasher, getting in the final third. A lot of people had it in their heads that Enzo Fernandez was going to be in this six and he was going to dictate and he was going to, pick up the ball in the regista position off the centre-backs and play these long-range switches and long-range passes. This guy is box crashing. This guy is having to show energy up and down, having to be tenacious without the hernia injury, get stuck in. So these are things that are important to see. And like I said, I've always liked that midfield. Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo, Real Madrid rebuild. You already know what it is. Andre Santos coming back. Whoever adds themselves into the fifth spot. That midfield is sorted. It always has been as long as everybody's playing to their capabilities. The winger position is looking tasty because of Madueke's recent, left wing stints, but I still need more. And then up front, we already know what time it is. Centre back, with the good performance of Chalobah, we still need something in there. So Fofana potentially links away. We'll see what happens. Goalkeeper, you already know what it is. We have the opportunity in the summer, and I said it last year and I'm going to say it the year before. We have an opportunity this summer to focus on the priorities, to handle our business and do what we must do to improve this team in the glaring areas that need improving, in the clear attributes that need adding to this side, and then we can kick on. If we do it, then we move. If we don't, like we did last summer, then we don't. And we continue to flirt with mid-60 points tallies, which is not good enough. It's actually quite close to what we've done in the back end of the Roman stint, what we've done when we finished in 4th or 5th or 6th in the last 5, 6, 7 years. But if we want to kick on and we want to be title contenders, because we are 30 points off Liverpool or whatever it is at the moment, not 25 points, we need to address our actual issues. We need to address our actual problems. These wins are not going to change my overall opinion on what we need as a team in the goalkeeping position, up front, in the centre-back position, in the wing position, in certain areas. We need to add these things. It's not going to change. We are where we are. So let's get these things done and then we can actually kick on. But very happy, 3-1. You can only play what's in front of you. Liverpool, listen, we give you guard of honour. You give us 3 points. Simple as that. When you're kicking it up against your own players for own goals, then it sounds like you're playing your part. So much appreciated to you. Your celebrations will continue and we will be there. Drew Garden, watch along for the second leg and obviously for the Champions Leagues as well in midweek. Until next time, big up your damn selves, people. In a bit, people. Peace.